Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm once again back to you with another video discussing sword topics. I have brought with me one of my personal favorite swords, the French. No, this isn't French. This is Italian, maybe. Maybe. If someone knows what type of rapier this is, please let me know. Educate me. Thank you. The Italian or French, I'm just going to call it the rapier. The rapier. A long, elegant, thin sword. Now, what's the topic I'm discussing? The usage and basics. No, we're not talking attacking. We're talking about something that HEMA often overlooks. And that is the edge. Now, coming off, the rapier is mainly and primarily a thrusting weapon. And it allows you for quick and lethal assaults. And mind you, my terminology is not that great. I am not an expert or a person who owns a dojo, but I can teach you some of the basics. For example, in HEMA, they don't really gloss on the fact that the defender has a much higher chance of winning. When you are attacking, you are having to open yourself up to defenses that allow for counters, and vice versa. Fencing and HEMA are a game of chess. They're not really high speed. It's basically pre-planned moves that you think your opponent's going to do, and then you're going to enact to counter. So first off, to start us off with the basics, is our most common, our triangle. Here, here, here. Or here, here, here. This is your basic movement when it comes to defense, deflect, block, parry, and counter. From here, we come here. From here, we go there. From here, we come here. Now, why is this? It doesn't look right to most people, which is where my point comes in. The rapier is not just a stabbing weapon or a puncture weapon. It is also a cutting weapon. It is a very, very special cutting weapon, as it's a double-edged weapon. This means when I block, I don't have to do this. I can simply go here for our basic block and step. For a closer look, is boom and because the rapier's boasting of the double edge allows for quick and effective cuts. No, you're not going to cut a tree limb down with it. No, you're not going to cut a tree down with it. An adachi or a guando, yes. A rapier, no, but that's the beauty of it. It is a flimsy piece of elongated steel which cuts fast. Alright? And because of this, speed and velocity come into play, which is why knowing the basics of defense is a very important detail. Knowing your triangle gives you already a step up in the game. As for footing, our footing is typically a standard T stance. We don't want to lock our legs because we're not going to get movement. We don't want to go like this because, well, you're squatting. This is going to exhaust you. Just standard. That way you can move freely while maintaining a formidable stance. Of course, personally, I prefer a stance like this for an explosive lunge. The reason I'm not going full lunge is because I'm a lot closer to my computer than you realize. So, we're just going to go over the basics of what I know. Again, I do not claim to be a master or full-on expert in any field of martial arts. I am just simply passing on my knowledge of what I have learned over my decades of experience to you, whether you want to watch or not. It does not bother me. You can improve upon what I've done. You can help me improve upon what I am doing. I am not going to judge you. Alright? So, our main first off, we start off with our triangle. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now, why is this? You're asking, why is this part of the triangle different from this one? It's not. The structure is different. That I will agree. I have more strength with this than I do here. The reason why is because if we go to our foot, which we will do again, on the bottom part of the triangle, we're protecting not only our foot, but our knee. And the same way when it comes down here is the same point. Our objective, if they are going for a toe touch, is to maneuver their sword to either here or here. That way, when we move it here, we can step out of the way and avoid the inevitable to our nuts or privates. Alright? Because again, the rapier is a double-edged weapon. And it has the length of a basic longsword. Mind you, I am almost 5 to 6 feet away from my computer, and I can still tap the space button. So, does our footwork change when we're doing the triangle? Not really. Only a movement to allow for more aggressive openings, to defensive, to a step back. But personally, if I know they're new, I prefer this for an aggressive lunge. So, now that we've got the basics of the triangle, which is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, we can now focus on what to do after, which is, first off is our parry, thrust, block, thrust, block, cut, block, cut. Why? Because it is not just about blocking. There has to be a step after. For example, when I come down, do you think that's the end? No, it could go from here to that. There are multiple moves that are followed in any form of engagement. So, we're going to practice. Block, thrust. Block, thrust. Block, cut. Block, cut. Footwork. Off the bat. Block, thrust. Block, thrust. Block, cut. Block, cut. The footwork does not really change. It stays in the T, being here and here, allowing for support if we are attempting to be tackled, allowing for quick and fast movement, and as such allows for less use of energy. And mind you, I've been doing this for 9 minutes. Yes, I am winded. Because moving with this much motion is exhausting. I don't care how good you are. There's not a person on this planet that can swing a sword for over 9 minutes without being winded. Alright? So for all the bitches out there, please sit the fuck down. So, what do we do besides a thrust? Well, that's where the beauty comes in. Neighbors. Where the beauty comes in is we can go block, sidestep, and cut. And the same can be done over here. Because the rapier is a double-edged weapon. And you can do multiple cuts. Simply put, from here, 1, 2. Or from here, 1, 2. And they are both aiming for here and here. That's where your general target is. Of course, you can go 1, 2, 3 and go for the chest. Or if you want to be a little bit cheeky, go for a neck and leg. But personally, it takes a lot longer to get to the leg than it does to get to the head and chest. And it's a little bit more risky. Because, again, if you are here, you've got nothing up here. Of course, they don't see it coming. You're not really going to have to worry about that. Because they'll be on the ground. So, following. What if they come down? Well, that's simple. Up. That's it. Preferably you want to catch them here, where the strong is. But catching here is not bad either, if you know what you're doing. Because when they make contact, you're going to be in a T-pose, or your T position, as I am standing. They're going to hit here, and your objective is very simple. Step, cut. Because you are no longer in their line of attack, but they are in yours. Because you are stepping forward, while also letting their blade slide down, and then you are cutting. Aiming for here, and here. And if you're really unlucky, you're going to land here, or here. Mind you, none of this is a guarantee to help you win. This is to help build a basic foundation. There are a lot of maneuvers such as a block, thrust, a step, and a cut that can be followed through every single move you do. And the combos really never end as such. And yes, if you're inquiring, yes, I'm wearing very nice clothes. And yes, I'm wearing Oxford Dunhams because I am confident enough to maneuver around them while doing these drills without damaging them. Again, I've been practicing with blades for 2 decades. Am I formally trained? No. But have I put a lot of human nerds in the dirt? Not literally, but metaphorically. Yes. Because they forget a basic principle. In fact, I'm going to be right back. So please sit here for a few moments and enjoy the beautiful scenery. And if you can see, the roses. I will be right back. I have returned with a foam sword. Now, why am I bringing a foam sword out? Because a foam sword is a great way to start into swordsmanship. It's cheap, it's inexpensive, and it only stings. Alright? It doesn't hurt that bad. Why am I bringing up the foam sword? Because the foam sword, being the length that this one is, can be great for saber sparring or Kali. But the benefit is it teaches you proper distancing. The reason I'm wearing this hat, besides it looks very nice, is it actually is a better representation of protective gear. Because my helmet for fencing is somewhere lost in the clutter of my closet. And what HEMA doesn't teach you is the helmet gives you about 1 inch to 2 inches more distance or size to your body, meaning they have a really hard time judging the distance of where the strike is without it. You see, when you know where the 2 inches are, you're trained to avoid those 2 inches. And you feel safer because your body is a bigger target. All right, it gives you about 1 inch. When you're in HEMA gear, you get about 1 inch more size to your body. From your head to your shoulders and arms and legs. Because what you're fencing with is steel. That's why it's there. But with foam, all you need is safety glasses. That'll stay on your face. If you want to grab a mouth guard, grab that too. Why? Because HEMA gear is fucking expensive. Alright, it cost me $80 for a fucking fencing helmet. And that's not including the hood to cover the back. That's just the front. So think about how expensive it is for a full set. Alright, a gambeson's like $120. We're not even talking about the gloves, or the knee guards, or the shin guards, or the thigh guards, or your groin protector. HEMA gear is expensive. And a lot of HEMA channels, like Sellsword Online, tend to neglect that. They'll point you to who they are sponsored by, or who they sponsor, to try to get up sales, like Dragon Armory, or Red Dragon, or Purple Dragon. I don't buy from there. Because you know what they charge me for a little shit sword like this? A little shit saber? A little toy that's foam? Alright? They charge me like $80 to $100 for this shit. Don't believe me? Go look it up for yourself. It's not that hard. Just literally go look it up. You'll find that their prices are beyond unreasonable. Meanwhile, I can go to Amazon and get a little crappy sword like this for like $20. I got 2 of these for $20. That's $10 for a little sword like this. You've already got your basic saber, gladius, and also your, what was the name? It was an Indian art. It originated in the Filipinos. It was stick fighting. Alright? You already got your basic for those weapons right fucking here for $20. If you go to purple or red, yeah, congrats, you're about to pay $80 just to use something like this. And mind you, this motherfucker got some serious durability. I handed this shit to my friend's nephews. You understand how fucking insane kids are? I was wearing full plate, and everybody here knows I have full plate armor, and they were wailing full force for over 5 hours non-stop. They're like Energizer batteries. They really are. And this sword, the most that came out of it was a small little blemish on the paint. Durable, cheap, affordable, and quick delivery. That's one of the reasons I like foam swords, but also because you don't have to wear all the expensive HEMA gear. I mean, seriously. And also, considering, mind you, I am an idiot. I am a professional idiot. Do not attempt a lot of this at home. Even though it is completely okay, and you'll be fine, and probably just get a bruise, don't do it. It still stings. Unlike steel, I can take serious hits at full force and still have full mobility. At most, I'll probably get a light bruise, which is why it's great for beginning, because it will allow you to gauge actual distance versus the HEMA distance. This is basic HEMA. You have about 2 inches between you and the blade. That's part of the protective gear, and again, it's not stupid. I am not bashing HEMA for the protective gear. What I will bash it is for saying it's what you need. You don't need it. What you need is foam. Because this is going to teach you the proper distancing between your face and this sword. Because in older times, they didn't use steel swords to train, they used wooden. And this is well documented, and anyone will tell you this. Alright, anyone in the sword community will tell you this. Alright? It is well documented they used wooden swords, and they had big ass bruises. Most likely. Which is why I always say, if a modern human nut went back in time, they would get cooked. Versus Sellsword Online's little opinion of, yeah, we totally cook all the masters that wrote the books that we study. Yeah, understand. The masters did not have all this bulky HEMA gear, and neither would you in that time period. They're going to know their distancing, you're not. But with foam, you will learn your distancing really quick, and you will be able to make maneuvers and strategy and tactics based off that distancing. Remember, it doesn't matter how good you are, or how strong, or how fast. If you don't know your distancing, you are going to most likely lose. Alright? And that's why a lot of HEMA nuts have a hard time with newer people coming into the field, because they don't actually know their distancing very well. Because the people coming in are just going in the swing and smack. And they don't know how to deal with that. Because they don't practice the basic, the very bare basic of defense, being the triangle. Because all sword fighting is, like martial arts, is geometry. Alright? Triangle, square, circle, oval. From triangle, triangle, square, 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 triangle, square, whatever the fuck this is, circle. Alright, they don't practice that. They're too busy trying to find deflects and trying to go this way instead of just knocking it out of the way, stepping in while keeping the blade on their blade, and then cutting. And they always use just one edge. Always. They forget that double-bladed swords have 2 edges. You can do more than just You can go into boom, boom, boom. You can get fancy with it. You can come across with a quick slice. It does not take a lot of effort to cut something. Alright? Sorry, I'm getting worked up. It does not take a lot of effort to cut anything. Alright? It takes very bare minimum effort, especially when it comes to skin. Skin is very terrible, very cuttable. So a little light flick like this, yeah, that can slice your throat. It can cut your eye out, it can cut your eye, it can cut your face, even a little bit like this. Yeah, just doing this. Yeah, I can cut your chest open with that. Alright. And armor's a different ballgame. Do you think for a fucking second I'm going to be in armor using a rapier? Hell no. I'm grabbing a warhammer. But I think I've wasted 25 minutes of your time and trying to help you, the viewer, learn something new. Or at least start your basics. Again, there are probably plenty of people out there that know a lot more than I do. I do not put myself as a gatekeeper. I simply wish to show you the starting basics, the very bare basics, to begin the journey. because it's where I started. Alright? Am I a fucking guru? No. Am I a fucking master of everything? Hell no. There are no real masters. That's false philosophy. But what I am is a guy who has 2 decades of experience in practicing with these weapons under his belt. And I see a lot of YouTubers giving half information. For example, reverse grip. Yeah, it's not really good for it's really bad for that. But if you have a cross guard, you're not trying to do this. Why would I do this? Why? Who does this? Well, I would do. Try to catch it on the cross guard. Is it the best? No. Is it viable? Yeah. Debatable. But can it work? Yes. As long as you're not a fucking idiot trying to be a Naruto anime, you're like, eh. Or, ha. No. Alright, it's more of a deflect and pushing in. Alright? Because you're trying to catch it with this part. Alright? It's basically triangle. Deflect up here, step in, then cut. Because reverse grip is mainly reserved for knife combat. Now you gotta do it with a long... No, you gotta do it with a long sword. Why would you do it with a long sword? A long sword is a 2-handed weapon. A katana. If it had better hand protection, yeah. But overall, the best thing to start out with, before you try to go into steel and HEMA, is foam. Because it'll allow you to learn distancing. It will allow you to actually practice without gear without sustaining serious injury. You're still going to sustain injury, okay? Getting smashed with this is going to leave a light bruise. But you don't have to worry about, a bone getting fractured, or a vein getting cut, or a joint getting disconnected. No, with this, yeah, you're fine. Alright, it's not going to crack your skull open. That's why this is better to start with. And don't go to Red Dragon or Purple Dragon. Just don't. Because they overcharge. For something like this, they charge $80. Just go to Amazon. They are literally selling a Witcher foam sword. A literal scale model, or at least close to scale model, of a basic longsword for like $30. On Amazon right now. And it can be used like these to practice your fundamentals and basics. And if you have a friend, you can get 2 and have 2 for $60. Versus these other sites, which is like 120 to 200 to 300 for something that will break very easily. Trust me, I've gone through their stuff. It breaks very easily. I hit anything with any significant force, it breaks. Unlike this, which is obviously made from cheaper material. But yet it's, for some reason, more durable. So, think about that. But if you're going to start, your basics have already been shown to you, is your basic triangle, and then your basic counter, or, basic follow-ups. And depending on how this video goes, I will post more, getting further and further into more advanced techniques and strategies that I have learned over my 2 decades of practice. Alright? And again, if you are a better swordsman than I, please leave a comment. Tell me what more can be taught in this basic tutorial. Help the newer generation of HEMA lovers and sword lovers progress past simply biased channels. Alright? I will not gatekeep. I wholeheartedly accept criticism, and I wholeheartedly accept the fact that, yeah, I'm not the best. But at least I'm not the worst. Until next time, your boy, Agent Wolf. Have a nice one.